Welcome back. It is not the hours that you put in into any piece of work that matters. It is what you do within those hours that matters. And I'm going to share with you in this video what you need to be thinking about when you put on a new project, when you've got a business idea and you are trying to maximize the use of your time or in your interactions with people. Now, a lot of people just focus on, I'm working hard, I'm putting in a lot of hours, and I'm doing so much, especially in a professional setting. It is not the amount of hours that you put in that matters. It is what you get out of it. It is what you put into it. It is the kind of work that you do. That is what matters. And look, this is a real issue. This is a real issue. I have seen situations where people will be like, their bosses are not recognizing them, they are not thanking them enough, or they are not really appreciating the effort they put into their work. And as valid as those complaints are or concerns are, sometimes you may need to look inwards. Now, a project that should normally take you 10 hours, if you're doing that same project for 15, in fact, if you're doing it for 8, sometimes you may want to check why you are spending so much time doing it, especially in this day and age of AI and technology, where you can basically cut your time in half, for real, more than half. You can cut the time you're investing in half. Now, stop focusing on the input in terms of, oh, I've put in 10 hours, I've put in 15 hours, I've put in 20 hours. I need you to make a mindset shift from thinking about the time you're putting into it and think more about what you want to get out of it. Okay? In anything, it doesn't matter, whatever it is, think about what you want to get out of it. Now, genuinely, some projects, some tasks, some situations may require a lot of the time that you didn't even think you were going to need, and that's okay. But I need you to move your mindset from, this is the number of hours I'm putting in and whatever that is, and then just focus only on the hours you're putting in rather than thinking about what you want to get out of the whole project. That is mindset shift 1. Mindset shift 2 is this: please and please and please, when you're given a task or a project, focus on the important areas of that work. Now, in any task, project, business process, whatever it is you're doing, look at everything from start to finish that has been handed off to you and say, look, in the pool of these tasks, which can I delegate? In fact, you can divide them into major and minor. The major ones, which are the ones that you don't think anybody can add enough value to it, and you need to be added value to, so you feel like doing it yourself will add a lot of value to you, then pick those ones and do it. You see, the minor ones, think about somebody else who can do it, or think about a technology solution or AI or whatever can help you get through those tiny bits. And I'll paint a good example for you. Now, you may put on a project to deliver a particular report, and for you to be able to deliver that report to probably your customer, your client, whatever that is, you need to do 100 different activities. Now, within those 100 different activities, there will be some minor things that will require maybe setting on calendar invites. Some of them may require just basically setting up some things that don't require any serious skills. Some of them may just require like checking up on a contact or just sending out an email or whatever. You see, those tiny little tasks that does not require so much of your energy, so much of skills and all of that. Think of someone on your team who can help you do those immediately. And this is where professionals get stuck. They feel like, but I can quickly do it in 1 minute. I can quickly do it in 2 minutes. You see, that 1 minute, that 2 minutes, if you accumulate it over 100 tasks, or you accumulate it over 80 tasks over a period of 3 months, you would see how you are not saving your energy enough to do what is important. Now, what is important? What is important is, who are you reporting to? Who is reviewing your work, and what within that project do they care about? And if you don't know, you need to be asking them before you even get started. Now, what they care about is where your energy should go. That is the major. That is one way to know what is major. The second way to know what is major is you get into a meeting during the process of getting that work done, and there is an issue that has come through that needs to be resolved for you to make some progress. Now, don't take that issue that you've just come out of a meeting, you've just seen it, just discussed it with your boss. Don't take that issue and put it in your drawer and wait for it. We'll wait for Monday, we'll wait for Tuesday, we'll wait for Thursday, whatever that is. No. Think about it. Put that issue on the, like I've said, I've told people over and over again in my videos and all of that, get you a work journal. Write out what the issue is and think through it. If I wanted to resolve this issue, you can do back to front to back kind of thinking and say, okay, this is what a resolved state will look like. What do I need to do if I walk it backwards? Now, it can be, okay, let me talk to a stakeholder. Let me talk to this team. Let me remind that team. Now, that is what you now need to start doing immediately. Don't wait for a week. Don't wait for 3 days. Don't wait for 4 days. A lot of people focus on the minor things that others can do for them. So, for instance, there are some Excel sheet situation that someone else on your team can help with. Instead of you to leave it for them to do, you'll be like, oh, if I do it myself, it will take an hour. But if they do it, it will take 5 hours. Well, but you are more experienced and your time is more valuable because of your experience and because of your skills and because of the more important things you need to get to. So if they spend 5 hours doing what you can spend an hour doing, it is okay, because you would rather use that 1 hour to think through more important and more strategic things to get done. Now, what you will do, typical you, is you will do that same thing. Say, but it will take me an hour, but you will do it in an hour. But by the next hour or 2 hours or whatever, when your boss is then asking you about that important thing, that very important thing, you don't have an update. Why? Because you're focusing on tiny little things that do not add any value to you, that you do not have add the most value to, and as such, and then you'll be like, oh, I've not gotten started with it, or I don't have an update yet, and you begin to give a downward vote to your reputation. It is important that you take care and you listen to this and you think about how it impacts you. Same applies to you in your business. If you are a business owner, you are a founder, you are a CEO, whatever it is you are, or you are helping a founder build their business. You need to be thinking about what is important right now. And for a founder or for a CEO, what is important is the bottom line. So the key activities that improves the bottom line, the strategic activities that improve the bottom line should be what should be filling their plates, rather than the operational jargon that somebody else on the team can pick up and make sure it runs. And obviously it depends on the size of the organization, because as the CEO or founder, if you have a very, very small organization, you may have to do most of those things, but you also need to think about how to get people on board to delegate those things to, so you can focus more strategically on what matters. So every single time you're like, but I'm working hard, the question is, what are you working hard at? Because it's not everything we work hard at that we succeed at, especially if you're working hard at things that you already know how to do. It's not adding any meaningful value to you, it's not adding any meaningful value to your key stakeholders. Then what are you working at exactly? Okay, so going forward, I need you to understand that it is never about the amount of hours you're putting into stuff. It is about what you do during those hours. So you need to be thinking high stakes, important things that really important people do care about. Now, I'm going to talk about another thing that you need to think about as well when it comes to people, especially people say, but I'm working hard, but I'm putting in a lot of hours and all of that. You need to move your mindset. Now, a time is going to come, you may be a career professional right now, but a time is going to come in your journey where you probably be a business owner yourself, an investor. You would have people you're responsible for. You may even be the CEO of an organization, whatever that is. Stop thinking about time by itself, because just thinking about time by itself is valueless. Like, it doesn't make sense. I'm working hard, I'm putting in hours. That is not how you measure anything important important. Think about the value that you're bringing on board. And when you're having conversations, even conversations about promotion, that is how you need to be thinking, not, oh, but I'm working hard. No, it is about what value are you bringing on board that nobody else is bringing on board, and which separates you and which brings about profit, cost cutting, whatever it is to your current organization. So stop talking about time. Just stop talking about time and stop talking about what it takes you, and focus more on the actual benefit of that time that you're investing in. Because it's like you've got input, leverage, output, and you're focusing on input to drive a conversation or to drive an interaction with people that are like decision makers. You will be failing before you even start at all. So instead of talking about the input, you talk about the output. This is what we've been able to get. And when you're bringing people on your journey, for example, you're just giving like updates on your work, that is when your input then matters. So you want to think about that very much. Okay, so when you're having conversations about like this is where I am giving updates about your work, absolutely fine, you can do that. You can say, okay, this was the problem we had, this is the amount of time we had to spend resolving it, this was the what we had to leverage on, and this is the output. But when you're trying to convince someone that you are important to the process or you're valuable to the process, you must really be focusing more on the output. I hope this has been helpful. If you need to learn more, you can join me in the Career Mastery Hub, which is our community for professionals, career professionals who want to build profitable careers and personal brand. If that is what you like, in the description box below, you will see the member benefits and you will see the link to join us. Thank you very much. Remain fantastic.